That's why she was upset with Charlie in every way. If she finds a talented son-in-law, she might be able to live in Thompson first. At this time, she looked at her sister-in-law Horiah with a flattering expression, and said with emotion, "Sister-in-law, you are really amazing. You bought a house in Thompson in a blink of an eye. I really envy you. I don't know how long our family can live in that old house. From such a luxurious house like Thompson. What you bought is 240 square meters. I see if our family can't save so much money in 50 years. Although she was very upset with the eldest family, Elaine also knew that she had to slap them, so she came up with 3 horses. Harold's mother, Horiah Chian's expression was extremely ugly. She glared at Elaine and said coldly, "Elaine, what do you mean by this? Do you look down on people?" Horiah Chian's heart is almost exploded. She wanted to call Jacob and Elaine over and let them witness the purchase of a first-grade Thompson mansion with their own eyes, so that they had a sense of existence in front of them, and then satirized them again. But she didn't expect that the son-in-law has the ability. He actually got a Thompson first-class mansion villa. This is really maddening her, and she is also jealous of death. Now that Elaine is here, she deliberately complimented her for buying a 240 square meter building. Isn't this a mockery of her? Your family has hundreds of millions of worth villa, and you still say you envy me? You also said that you can't live in such a luxurious house. Isn't this a curse? Elaine didn't know what was going on. She slapped Horiah Chian's flattery when she came, but Horiah Chian said that she looked down on people, and she was so wrong in her heart. The Lady Wilson licked her when she came, and she disliked her, of course. Look down on her? Does look down on her if she kneel? So Elaine hurriedly bites the bullet and continued flattering, "Oh, sister-in-law, I am compared with you. That is, the candle meets the sun, and it is far behind. How can I look down on you? You see how good your life is. You're going to live in the Thompson first-grade house. Look at me again. I still live in the small broken house. Hey, our little broken house is really broken and rotten. How does it compare with your Thompson first-grade house? So of course I envy you." Horiah Chian was even more irritated by what she tried to say something. She couldn't even speak her words. Her husband, Noah Wilson next to her, gritted his teeth and cursed, "Elaine, is it interesting for you to blame Horiah here? Isn't it just a villa? What are you bullish for?" After that, he looked at his brother Jacob and said coldly, "Jacob, am I still a brother in the eyes of you husband and wife? You have a villa and are calling ours big one." Jacob was stunned. "Villa? What villa? Brother, are you going to buy a villa? So rich." When Noah Wilson heard this, he suddenly thought that Jacob was deliberately running him with words, blowing his beard and staring angrily, and said, "Jacob is okay. Why do you say such things? Don't you just want to live in Thompson first-grade villa now? Isn't this just getting up with me?" Jacob was stunned. "What? I live in Thompson's first-class villa? Big brother, don't you always use me to ridicule me?" Elaine was also confused. "Brother, are you making a mistake? Is there any misunderstanding in this?" Noah Wilson pointed at Charlie, and said with a displeased expression, "Your son-in-law has made a reservation for first-class villa. Let him talk about the specifics." Elaine and Jacob were both dumbfounded. They looked at Charlie in astonishment, and asked with unbelievable faces, "Charlie, what your uncle said is true. Did you really get a Thompson first-class villa?" Charlie nodded and said, "Parents, there is indeed a villa, which is given to me by someone for helping him." "Who gave it?" Elaine blurted out with a look of ecstasy in her eyes. Charlie said, "I helped a friend solve some feng shui problems, and he gave me a villa." Elaine was extremely excited and blurted out, "Take us to visit this villa." DMN. Thompson's villa, I can't even dream of it. Claire pulled Charlie a hand at this time, and asked in a low voice, "Charlie, what is going on?" Charlie smiled slightly and said in a low voice, "Someone really gave me a villa. If you don't believe it, let's go and see it now." When Elaine looked at her eldest brother and sister-in-law again, she felt a sense of superiority in her heart. "Okay. If you buy a large apartment, just follow me and let me come to accompany you to see the house. Now it's all right." I'm going to live in the Thompson Villa area soon. I've been pressed by you for such a long time. Turned over to be mastered. So she deliberately smiled and said, "Oh, eldest brother and sister, Harold and Wendy, since you are all here, why don't we visit this villa together? What do you think?"